Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to episode 30 of my podcast, The Public Affair. I'm going to call this one the Dirty 30, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for helping me make this podcast get to 30 episodes, which is like super lit. Thank you to Rogue Media Network with Mike Hamilton, my producer. He is the best. I couldn't ask for a better producer, so thank you, Mike. You're the best. Okay, so before we get it started with this exciting episode, I want to give a shout out to more than a couple of our sponsors of The Public Affair. Let's start off with Arjon Painting with my boy Juan Arjon. He's a family-owned local paint company who specializes in both residential homes, both interior and exterior. He has the best quality guaranteed, and he'll offer you a pretty sweet warranty as well. So make sure if you guys need your home painted, you call my boy Juan Arjon because he's only the best in town, darling. I also want to give a shout out to Pollo Box and Audio with my boy Jeffrey Monreal. He focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much, much more. He's kind of a jack of all trades. You can call him for anything. That Apple CarPlay stereo that you put in my car is giving me all the vibes. Jeffrey, thank you so much for doing that. My car looks brand new. Make sure you call Pollo Box and Audio on the number on the screen if you need some work like that done. I also want to give a shout out to Midway Nutrition with my boy Marcos Cordero. He's located on Hewitt Drive. He sells meal replacement shakes. He offers tons of flavors. He's also a Public Affair alumni. You guys are looking into getting into more of like a healthier meal replacements, make sure you guys go check out Midway Nutrition. My favorite is the Honey Nut Cherry. He's also got 100,000 different great flavors. And also big shout out to Waco Nutrition and Energy on Spades. Make sure you guys go check them out. To B&J Refinishing with my boy Frank Baiza. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. 5-year warranty on most work and offers the best prices in town, so he's not going to break those pockets. My boy Frank is like the biggest entrepreneur ever because he also has Co-Town Tints. And they are a mobile tint and detailing business. He offers the best high quality film and products. He actually just detailed my car and it's like fucking awesome. I love it so I couldn't believe it. Somebody called me dirty elbows, but anyway, make sure you guys hit up Co-Town Tint for all your detailing and all your tinting needs, and he will be all competitor prices because he's the best. And of course, I can't forget David Santabanez with Alinea Realty. He's the #1 sales agent in his office to help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea or call the number on the screen to, all your realtor needs, darling. And shout out to David Santabanez. He is also a Public Affair alumni. More to come later. All right, guys. So I'm really excited with this episode. So the reason why I'm calling it Dirty 30 is because, when you turn 30, you have a dirty 30. And what better, way to do this than have youth pastors on the show, right? Yeah. And so I really want you guys to help me introduce my friends Brill and Breana Stone to the show. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, Brill and I go back to high school, but we were not friends in high school.
We were not.
Well, not because we hated each other, just we didn't do the same things.
Yeah.
We didn't talk, and I was, I was like fat and plumpy, and he was like the jock, right? And then I met Breana at a wedding that our friend Vicky, right? Yeah. Vicky and Xavier had. Oh my God, how long was that? Like 5 years ago?
It was like 3.
It was like
they got married the same year we did, just earlier in the year.
3
or 4.
Don't fight on the show because it's about relationships. So anyway, but no, okay. So anyway, I was drunk at the wedding, and there was my friend Jose. Shout out Jose. At the time, I was trying to get with him, but not anymore. And so I was Jose. He's cool. I like him. But I was drunk, and then I saw Brill, who actually said hi to me at the wedding because we didn't speak prior to that or anything. So I thought it was cool that you remembered me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, because it shows that you're just kind of humbled.
Well, I mean. You have like a personality people don't forget. So
really?
like even though we didn't talk much in high school, I mean it's kind of a hard person to forget, honestly.
Okay, well thanks.
But in a good way.
Well, wasn't I like one of the crunkest ones at that wedding though?
Literally.
The wedding was great, but
do you remember the pep
dance
rallies
floor.
though? That wedding gave me like midway 09 pep rally.
But you know what?
bro.
But when we were in high school, I wasn't fucking with pep rallies because I wasn't fucking with people. So you know what I mean? So anyway, I see Briana there, and I was like, she's hot, and then I was like, oh, you guys are hot as fuck, and then move on. You know what I mean? Open bar. April was the bartender or whatever. Anyway, no, she wasn't. She was anyway. Okay, so it's really great to see you guys. And how have you guys been since I've seen you?
Been good, man.
Yeah.
We've been good.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Are you nervous?
I am a little.
Briana, okay. Briana's a little nervous, but I really wanted both of you guys to come on because I wanted to use this episode to kind of talk about like relationships. It's like something I haven't really tapped into. Yeah. I had my voice. I had a friend come on and talk about his divorce, but like that was kind of it. And so I was like, oh, they seem like a pretty strong couple on Facebook, and you guys are youth pastors, so you guys are like really spiritual. And I just had a girl from OnlyFans on this show, so I have to like cleanse my viewers' souls. You know what I mean? Which she was super. Shout out to Isabel, I love her.
I watched it. I liked it.
Isn't she great? She's so great. Yeah, and she's hot as fuck. And then so I was like, okay, well, she takes it. I gotta have like some spiritual vibes going through the camera. So anyway, okay, but let's start with introducing you guys. So let's start with Brill. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and all that?
All right, so obviously my name is Brill.
Hey.
I'm from Waco, born and raised. Went to Midway.
Yeah.
With Andrew, graduated 09. From there,
Panthers, darling.
I know, man. From there, I kind of bounced around
Okay.
between MCC and Tarleton, and then I graduated college in 2014 with a bachelor's in accounting.
Oh, okay.
Which was right around the same time me and Bree met.
Oh, that was what year again?
2014.
2014
is when I graduated.
Oh, okay.
But we actually met in 2013, but
Got you.
we didn't start dating until then. So
Oh shit. She was like, no, get him away. Right? She was
actually the other way around, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh shit, yeah, we are. All right, okay. And then you said you graduated with a degree in
Accounting.
Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Yeah. So how did that go for you?
It was like, so school was actually a breeze.
Yeah.
As far as like getting through it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't really like hard for me, but my career after that was like a roller coaster, fam.
Oh shit.
Like the first job I got, they laid me off. I dealt with like a whole bunch of like racism because you don't see a lot of
Okay, yeah.
For sure.
like you don't see a lot of black people in accounting in general, but definitely not.
Listen,
young.
don't be scared. This is not radio. You can say whatever you want. Okay.
You don't really see a lot of black dudes
Yeah.
in accounting, especially young black men. And
Okay.
so I went to work for a company that was, accounting is run by a majority, Caucasian people.
Okay, yeah.
And so I went to work for a company that wasn't really fond of even having a black person on staff.
Oh
And
wow.
the main president of the company of that division didn't even know I was hired.
How does that even happen? How are you the president? Like, it's just, but as an accountant, don't you handle the finances? Like,
Yeah, so he was the president of the division of it was a construction company. So that's
okay,
another
okay.
thing. There's
We don't
no
have to name the
context.
yeah, please.
All right,
I don't want them
go-
suing
going
me.
too far.
Yeah, no. You can say it's a construction company because it's doing it.
That's all
I
I'm
just
gonna
said,
say. Yeah.
Mike and I talk about like getting sued and shit like that.
Yeah,
so we
that's all
just,
I'm- that's all
I don't
I'm
have
gonna say.
shit. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so he
Yeah.
didn't even know I was hired, and
Yeah.
he found out when we went to one of the district meetings,
Uh-huh.
and then there were, like I told Bree, there was a whole bunch of racial slurs being thrown around at the
Oh,
table.
wow.
Like, can I say it? Not that word,
What?
but what I told you on the phone that day.
Oh yeah.
Oh
You can
yeah,
say
so
that,
like
yeah.
I was sitting at the table, and
Yeah, you
basically
can say
they
whatever
were.
the fuck you want. Like, I don't know. You can say whatever you literally fucking want. I don't care. Like, listen, I had a girl on here who had her boobs on the show. Like, you could say whatever the fuck you want. Okay, anything you want, I promise.
But we were sitting at the table, and they
Yeah.
were just basically like, "Well, who invited this grease monkey?"
Oh,
like
wow.
things like that. And so,
How did you tolerate something like that?
one, I was outnumbered, and two, it was like I needed a job. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's
Oh.
funny, man. Like you put up with a whole bunch of stuff when
I guess
you need
for,
stuff. You
well,
know
for
what I mean?
$100,000 a year, like, you can call me whatever the
I
fuck
wasn't
you
making-
want.
I wasn't making that thing.
No, but I'm just saying, if I was making $100,000 a year, you can call me all the words the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Like shocked.
Yeah, and
that's-
I remember
that's
going in the
crazy.
bathroom, and
Yeah.
I texted you or called you, and I was so mad, bro. Like I was
Yeah.
shaking. I was mad, but
So
I couldn't
they
do
just
anything
said
about
that
it.
out loud though,
Yeah.
like just you there,
Because they knew I was, and what made me more mad about it is they knew I wasn't gonna do anything. Because
my God.
that would have just given them reason to fire me.
That's
you
so.
weren't even in town, so it's like
That's
you're
so
stuck.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was-
that would be like, us being like, oh, look at that bitch. But I would at least wait till you left the fuck. At least wait till you left the fucking room. It's more freeing for me to talk about you behind your back than it is to your fucking face.
Them dudes was bold, man. They didn't care.
I evidently fucking not.
Yeah, they did not care.
Well, but you don't have to deal with that now.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
I've been laid off twice since in my career.
Okay.
One was back then in 2014. The other, it was probably 2015 then.
Yeah.
The other was just a few months ago, actually.
Oh, wow.
So that was interesting, but it all worked out in a way that, I mean, you honestly can't give credit to anything but God.
Okay,
honestly.
yeah. But you're employed now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
that's good. Hopefully
Yeah.
you don't get off that shit either.
Nah, yeah. Hopefully that's the last time.
Okay,
If
yeah.
it happen again, I'm gonna just start my own business, man.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Bruh, because I can't do it no more.
Could you imagine? Like, what now?
Literally.
Okay, Brianna, how about, so Brianna and I actually, it's Brianna, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, we actually don't know each other that well. We met that one time at the wedding when I was trash, and I called you a hot bitch, and that was it. You know what I mean? I did, because she is.
I remember that,
right? I did. I throw the word bitch around as
you're fine.
a word of endearment. You know what I mean? When you're gay, that word is like a word of endearment. Anyway, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, so why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and stuff?
So of course I'm Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Brianna.
Okay.
I grew up in Waco.
Yeah.
From Waco. I went to Midway. I went
did
to
you?
Waco High for like a semester.
Okay.
And I was like, fam, I gotta get out of here. It's
Really?
like a whole thing. Then I went to Midway.
Okay.
Graduated from Midway. I did not go to college. Well,
Okay.
I went.
Well, I didn't go to college either, girl. Whatever.
I went sometimes.
Yeah.
And then eventually I just
All right.
I gave up.
You're like, I don't know if I'm trying to go math today.
It was not for me.
Okay.
And so I just started working.
Yeah.
I kind of did a variety of things.
Got you, yeah.
All like office admin work.
Yeah.
So currently I work for Baylor in HR.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
That's what I do.
Hey, but what year did you graduate in high school?
11.
Oh, no, okay, so
yeah.
you were younger than us.
Yeah,
I mean, not that I
11.
fucking knew anybody. I was just.
I don't
Well,
remember
she wasn't
anybody.
there. She wasn't there when we were there anyway.
Oh, was she not? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came to Waco into my sophomore year.
Okay.
Something like that.
I got you.
Because I had moved away and then I came back.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anybody unless I dated them, I actually don't remember them.
I love that shit. Oh. Why don't you talk about that, Brianna? I got you. So why don't we talk a little bit about how you guys met? So from what I'm understanding, you chased Brill.
Oh.
That's what you insinuated in the beginning of the episode. Oh, now you don't got shit to say, right?
No, wait, hold on.
Now you don't got shit to say. What's up? Right? What did he do in the beginning of the episode? Remember you had to check him?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So what
okay,
hap-
yeah.
No, but she thought we
what-
had a side conversation about that.
okay,
And what
anyway.
really happened was we actually met on Twitter.
Twitter.
Did you tweet her?
Nah. So
Okay.
what happened
I
was
almost said, did you twat her? That was obviously, right? So, my bad. Anyway, she said, yeah. She said, hell yeah, you did. Is it true? Anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Sorry. I've just never. Okay. Wait. What nationality are you?
I'm Hispanic and Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost went for white and Hispanic.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, I don't know. Not that it matters. I was just saying, like, yeah, I knew that you were
Yeah.
mixed with something. That's why I called you hot bitch at the wedding. But I was just like, you know what I mean? But anyway, okay, I'm
man.
sorry.
But no, so we met on Twitter. We had
Okay.
a mutual friend. He went to Baylor at the time and was on the track team. And he was kind of like really big into philosophy.
Oh,
And
okay.
So he would
Who was
tweet-
it? Do we know him?
I don't think you know him. He's not from here.
Oh, he's not from. Okay, then I don't know. All right.
But he was like really big into philosophy, and so he would post or tweet a lot of
yeah.
like deep philosophical questions.
Oh, wow.
And somehow Bree was following him, and I was following him, and I know her parents and her dad,
Okay.
but I didn't know her.
Because he went to church. I didn't.
So
Oh, okay.
my so to give backstory, my dad's
Yeah.
a pastor, and her dad's also a pastor now, and so.
Your dad's not gonna get mad when he watches this episode, right?
No,
I don't need nobody else in my fucking inbox,
He's
please.
seen worse.
Bro, my dad,
Oh, good.
my dad, he's
He's cool. So he's cool.
yeah, he's chill,
okay.
he's chill.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
But anyway,
Just don't want him in my inbox. Okay.
no, yeah, you ain't gotta worry about that. He's chill.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, so he would like post a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
Bree would be on one end of the spectrum of his post, and I would be on the other. And so
Okay.
when we first like actually met, I really didn't like her that
Yeah.
much because
Oh.
we always disagreed on everything.
Right.
Oh, really?
And so one day this dude had a bright idea. He was like, "Hey, let's all get together at like Applebee's."
Applebee's.
Ooh, Applebee's.
Yeah, you better. Yeah.
Applebee's.
Anyway, end of that conversation.
So that was the first day we met.
Yeah, I got
you. At the time, I had a girlfriend, and so,
Oh.
but it was like a group thing.
Yeah.
And so
We'll get to that.
all of us went, and
This is getting great.
She walked in, and I was like,
Damn, she bad.
I was like, man, that dress is nice.
Okay. Ooh, was it a little slit in the?
It was not a slit.
Okay.
It was the red.
Remember
It was the
what-
red dress.
It was
wasn't
not the red dress.
Bro, it was
Okay,
the red
that's a different
dress, man.
conversation.
She's like, maybe it was that bitch wearing the red dress.
But no, yeah. So she
Yeah.
walked in, and I was like, okay, well, maybe my perception of this individual might change a little bit.
Okay, I got you.
But
And you were with the girl.
yeah,
Okay, did we know her?
no,
Well, she wasn't there, but he was dating her.
Oh.
Yeah.
she wasn't from here either, but she
Okay.
was
Yeah.
she was going to school here.
Old news anyway.
Yeah.
So
So,
that-
yeah, so that's kind of how we first met in person and how
Okay.
we met to
Yeah.
begin
And
with.
we would all like just go to like restaurants and hang
Oh,
out.
okay.
And
It's like
talk.
group things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
okay.
never like a weird
get ice
thing, but it
cream.
was
I got you.
okay.
Did you
calm
guys
down.
get ice cream afterwards, like by yourselves?
No,
or,
but one time Brill had to go back to his girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Wait a minute.
I'm in. Let's
That's
do
not
it.
what happened. That's
Hold on
not
a
what
second.
happened.
Brill leaves. Brill leaves.
Go
And
ahead.
he's like, first of all,
Yeah.
I'm single. And Brill's like, text me when you get home. Because he was afraid of our other friend.
I was not afraid.
Okay.
I was
Right.
worried for you.
So our other friend.
Because he might come off too strong?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. He was one of
He-
those.
Yeah.
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 We
Or
go
she.
out. We literally get ice cream.
Yeah.
Nothing. We don't do anything beyond ice cream.
Right, yeah.
He tried to get me over ice cream, which now that works, but that didn't work back then.
Right, yeah. No. Well, I'll tell you what, as a self-proclaimed whore, like if you buy me ice cream, you're in. Like, I don't get, like, you kind of lose morals as time goes on. You know what I mean?
Ice cream's amazing.
I do. I don't give a fuck. I'm 29 years
Ice
old.
cream's
I'll be 30. Yeah, you can get me some ice cream.
With
We're
some
gonna
toppings.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that gets you extra. That gets you extra. Okay. So, put some sprinkles on that bitch. I'll give you sprinkles when we get home. What's up? Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. I digress.
So we go out for ice cream, and then
Uh-huh.
the next day, Brill texts me because I never text him that night.
Why are you not in the head?
No,
Why are you not in the head?
That's not what happened. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and
She's like, I'm divorcing you right now.
I texted you, and I was like, question mark.
It was 2:00 in the morning?
Yeah.
And your
is
ass
he
wasn't in.
texting me?
But why you texting at 2 o'clock? The only time when people text me at 2 o'clock in the morning, that means you want some ass.
Why is he texting me?
No, because I asked for specifically, hey, let me know when you get home. And
Okay,
then
okay.
I ain't get no let me know.
And at 2 in the
so I
morning,
was
you
like,
woke up
okay,
and you're
well,
like, damn? Okay.
I never went to sleep. So I was like, something must be up. So I texted her like question mark,
Uh-huh.
and then she gonna text me back at like 9 the next morning. I was like,
Oh,
this is disrespectful.
Damn, but 2 o'clock in the morning, you trying to wake me up?
Literally.
What the fuck, man?
You ain't even asleep yet.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So a few months after that is when we finally started dating.
Okay. So you left the girl, and then you were like, well, she's better.
Tell
Yeah.
that.
So me and Brill are friends. I'm a very honest, blunt person. I've
Okay.
kind of toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
And so one day we were having a conversation. I was like, your girlfriend's cheating on you.
Oh, was that
And-
for real?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Brill
shit,
hangs up
okay.
the phone. He
Yeah.
is angry at me.
But she
Hangs up
didn't
the
know
phone.
for a fact. Like she didn't have
Oh, yeah.
proof.
Okay.
She just had a
What made you insinuate that,
Intuition.
though? Oh,
I
an
knew.
intuition. Okay.
You know.
Yeah, you know, you just be knowing
You
shit, right?
know.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
I don't know. That bitch look
You
iffy.
know.
That's what made me mad because like they had never met,
Uh-huh.
and she had. I was
I
like,
even
well,
know
how
her
you know?
last name.
And she was like, I was like, how you know? And she was like,
I just know.
I just do. And
You
I was
just
like,
okay. So you had never seen her, you had never met her, no nothing, and then you were just like the bitch
And we
cheating
didn't
on
even
you.
talk about her a lot, but
Yeah.
we had that one conversation.
Uh-huh.
He was mad about something or whatever, and I was like, she's cheating
Oh,
on
so
you.
you trying to just put like pieces of the story together?
Yeah.
I'd be doing that shit too, though. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Yeah, like no, why are you coming home at
This don't
11 o'clock?
make sense.
Why when I called you, somebody else picked up your phone? The fuck, you're cheating. Anyway, go ahead.
but yeah, part of it was because I went to her. Like we were having a conversation. Like I was frustrated about something
Yes,
she had done.
so you were confiding in her.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she was. I kind of opened that door, and then she was like, "Well, just walk right on through it."
So
Oh,
like
wow.
a week or two, maybe less
It was
than a
like
week.
it was like a week.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
even that.
Brill calls me and he's like, I broke up with her.
She did cheat on you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So what happened was,
With one of the homies or
well, she was on a basketball team for a college here,
okay.
and what I went to Brill about was frustration with like I didn't want to feel like I was being clingy.
Okay.
But I also felt like I wasn't getting the same energy I was putting out.
Right.
And so for me, like reciprocation is a big deal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna take the time to, text you, call you, plan stuff,
I need
that back.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
And so
Uh-huh.
I wasn't getting that. And this was even like me like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and I've always been like that. And
Right.
so I wasn't getting that. And I had addressed it with her multiple times. And by this point, it was just like, every time was like, yeah, I hear you, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day it's like worse than what it was before. So I had texted her and I was like, hey, I'm going to just come pick up my stuff that I have over there. Like, I hadn't broke up with her yet.
Yeah.
And she never texted back. And so, but I was already on the way to her house because we had talked about it earlier that day.
Yeah.
And she never texted back. And so I just went over there. And as I get over there, she's like outside kissing on this dude.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, that's why you didn't answer the phone.
Oh wow.
Okay. That's how we doing it. So,
Yeah.
at that, like, you know, if she had caught me 2 years before that,
Yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't have been so nice. But at that point, I was like, man, just give me my stuff.
Yeah. You're just anyway. I just came to get my underwears and that's it. Like we're out of here.
And so,
Okay.
when I was, I think by the time I got home is when I called Brill and told her.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So then that's how you know you can make your move, right?
That was the moment I knew.
You're like, it's like, oh baby, you want me to make you some tacos? And watch some Netflix. Did you make him tacos? Did you make him tacos? Oh, okay.
I didn't.
No, not yet.
I cook now.
Oh, you do not. Okay. Yeah.
You cooked then too.
You guys have a daughter though,
healthy
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
You guys have a daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. All right, so I do want to use this episode to talk a little bit about relationships because we haven't done that in a long time, well, ever. And so, I was like, okay, well, they're a pretty strong couple, and I've known of Brill for many, many, many years, and I always thought that you were pretty put together. Formidable guy, and I've followed you on social media and watched some of your life. Yeah, for real. And so even in school, like you had a really good reputation in school. My best friend Jaime, I believe, knows you because I think he wore a Brill shirt around school.
Yeah, powerlifting.
Yeah. Because I used to see Brill shirts everywhere in high school, and I was like, oh fuck, that is. Like, what kind of, is that his real name? Is that your real name, or is that short for something?
No, that's my real name. I'm named after my dad, so I'm Junior.
So he's Brill too.
Yeah.
Where does that name come from?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
My uncle. The legend is
Okay.
that my uncle Billy named my dad, but my uncle Billy had a little bit of problem with the bottle, and so a lot of times they say I never met him, but they say he slurred, and so he may have been trying to name him after himself.
That's kind of crunk though, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about in a relationship is having a strong bond. So obviously you guys have a very strong bond. What about it in your relationship do you think keeps the bond so strong together?
You want to go first?
Yeah.
You go first.
Either. I already can't agree, but go ahead.
All right. I think we've been married about
It'll be 4 years.
4 years. It'll be 4 years.
He's like, you better remember that shit. Okay.
He remembers. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm the
I
numbers
think
guy. So.
the biggest thing that helps us kind of keep our bond strong is kind of always going back to like why we got together.
Okay.
How we connect. We always say like our friendship is. We've always had a great friendship.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
always been a really, really strong friendship.
Okay.
And so we always go back to that regardless of, what the year looks like for us. Like, COVID-19.
Okay, yeah.
Fam, there was a point of time where Brill and I were both at home every single day.
Okay.
And that was annoying.
Yeah.
But
getting on each other's nerves.
right. And so like we had to be intentional about like being friends and talking and just talking about random things, not always like hard, heavy things that relationships do bring in.
Yeah.
But just being friends and having fun. And one of the biggest things that I think helps a bond is learning how to communicate, learning how to talk, learning how to listen to what the person's saying, but also knowing what their intentions are.
Do you think a lot of people in our generation lack that quality?
Yes.
Definitely.
Right? Definitely, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they're quick to like run to social media and say, oh my God, what a bitch, and I can't stand her, this and that. And then 2 days later, y'all back together. So.
Well, because like for her, like when that was going to be my answer, communication.
Okay, go ahead.
Because for me, like I grew up where I didn't really see my parents argue.
Okay.
So like I didn't know how people actually dealt with disagreements or conflict.
Yeah.
I just thought that everybody agreed. Like, I know this sounds really stupid, but I just thought that everybody agreed and nobody ever disagreed. And if you disagreed, you were basically like, just a bad person.
Yeah, okay.
And then we got married and I was like, oh, like there's a lot of things we don't agree on. Not that they were like a lot of big things or things that like super like mattered, but it was just a lot of little stuff that would add up over time.
Definitely.
And then if you don't know how to deal with conflict, like it's a problem. So the big thing about communication for I think a lot of people in our generation isn't just like knowing how to express how you feel, but also knowing how to deal with disagreements and when somebody else doesn't feel the same way you do.
Right, yeah.
'Cause that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to figure out what things are deal breakers for you.
Right.
But it's okay to not agree on everything. It's okay. That's what makes us different,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then in this case, it sounds like opposites do kind of attract, right?
Yeah.
Because you said
Right.
that you're more like the verbal, like vocal,
Right.
whatever, and then I could tell you're a little bit more laid back as far as the verbiage goes, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I think that does, and I'm speaking as a single guy because I don't have a fucking, whatever. I don't know. I always pick the losers, and then they drain my bank account and run, right? And then get fired from their job for stealing $600, but that's another conversation. So, yeah, what's up, bitch? And so, where was I going with this? I think a lot of even okay. So I knew somebody who was upset at his girlfriend because his girlfriend did not post him on social media. And I don't know why social media is like the grain of our lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's good for me to promote the public affair, but I would not like, expect my man or whatever to post me all the time. Like some people
Right.
just want to be kept private, which I don't see an issue with. And when he told me that, and I was just like, well, think about your parents who have been married your whole entire life. In the 80s, they didn't have fucking Instagram, much less a phone to be
Right.
calling each other
Exactly.
24/7. So, your mom wasn't posting up with your dad on Facebook, the 1980 software. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so to him, it just didn't really install in him that. And
Right.
so I think that is a big issue in our generation as well.
Yeah, it is. And I remember like having that conversation with Brill a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like you post everything on social media, but you never post me.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't until like recently that I realized.
Why are you giving him looks? Yeah, why are you
No,
giving
I'm
him looks?
just
Oh, you're
looking
listening.
at you. Oh, I was like, why are you
you were
looking
giving
at
her
me like
death
that?
stares,
No,
bro.
I got RBF as a man. I just,
I was like, hold on, pause the episode.
That's the face I make when I'm zoned in. I'm tuned in.
So you're tuned in. Okay,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I remember having that conversation, and
Yeah.
it wasn't until recently that I realized, well, when we make social media our end all be all, and when we put social media on this platform that says, I have to show the world what I'm doing,
Right.
and I have to make it valid, and
Right,
somebody has
yeah.
to validate it.
Yeah.
And when we do that, we take away a lot of things, but one
Right.
of the biggest takeaways that we do is we give people more authority in our lives than what they're even granted.
Yeah, you put that so well. See, I kind of wanted to say it in those words, but I didn't have that verb. So yeah, what do you feel about couples who do post a lot of their business on social media though? Like I see even people that we grew up, like not grew up with, but like
our age.
Yeah, our age, like that.
Too old for that.
Too old for that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I can't stand watching a couple like drag each other through the fucking mud on Facebook, and then like 2 minutes later, like
Literally.
they're my best friend.
Like,
you know what I mean?
they just the angel that fell down.
Yeah, I was like, yo,
Like, fam, you was just talking about him like he was the devil himself.
Yeah,
The best part is when they're like, this is my relationship. It's private.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is our whole.
it's
This is
not.
our relationship.
But I think what people fail to realize is that once you do put something on the internet, it no longer becomes private. That's why I do
Sure.
not send nudes. So it's like only sometimes. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's why I don't send nudes. Like I've said. I don't want my dad. Anyway, my dad loves the podcast, but he's like, Andrew, you don't have to like share all your fucking business on there. And so, no, but yeah, I think a lot of couples do fuck up when they do things like that because.
Yeah.
I know couples who fight behind the scenes and never post it on social media, which I think is a good thing. But
Right.
then I know of couples that will have one little fight, post it, oh fuck her, this is that, and like you don't realize how stupid you look.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean to call him like
No,
yes I
I
do.
get
Yeah,
you.
you look like a fucking stupid idiot.
it's-
Like when you're on social media or Facebook, Instagram, anything, saying oh my god, fuck her, him, he's a piece of shit, she's a piece of shit, I can't stand, or posting the little subliminals.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they'll post the memes or
Yeah.
whatever about
Yeah.
being single but you're not single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so how do you look as a person when you're doing that? And then you repost a picture of you and them. That's cool that y'all made up, but
Yeah,
you had us
now
all
we know
thinking-
that it wasn't. I
We're
mean,
all
and so
confused.
this is the thing for me. I think
Okay.
that there has to be a balance in between what you share.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that so kind of like even with Christianity and with the Bible,
Okay.
everything changes with times. Now
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the end goal is different,
Yeah.
but sometimes the application of how you get there
Yeah.
changes as
Right.
the world progresses. And so although we look at like our parents' relationships,
Uh-huh.
they didn't have any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But the end result was always they found a way to bring it back center to them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
And
got
so
you.
I think what happens is when you add any kind of other element or supplement to it, like social media or whatever, you have to maintain that balance. And so it's a healthy thing to share certain things, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that are never supposed to leave
Right.
your relationship or the people that you trust with your relationship that hold you accountable.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those issues should be held between the two of them. And again, I'm no fucking expert because I'm single as fuck. But you know what I mean? But which is not necessarily I'm something proud of either. But I think that a lot of people do make the mistake of doing that.
Right.
And I often look at my parents, and not to put all their, but I love my parents, but I watched my parents fucking fight when I was growing up. Not like fist fight or nothing, but they used to get into a lot of arguments. I wonder what it is about them being from a different generation that made them stay together even to this day. Like, I'll be 30 years old this year. And so they've been together longer since before I was born. I've never seen them break up. I've never, you know what I mean? Like, sure, they had fights as parents, dude. And we're Puerto Ricans, so those fights begin.
It's different.
You know, fucking pots and pans be flying around place.
Everything.
And I used to just sit there, oh shit, they're fighting, I guess. I guess I can't go to the fucking kitchen and get water. Goddamn. You know what I mean? Because then that's what they do. And then something, you did something wrong and you even fucking, like, why are you walking? Like, you know what I mean? But, like, I wonder what it is about an older couple that makes their relationship, like, them kind of just not be like us. I don't know. Like, what were the differences in growing,
I think one of the things that, like, I always say is, like, we are the microwave generation.
Okay.
We want something to go in real quick and it to come out complete.
Okay.
And a lot of the older generations, there was no choice. Like, they didn't have all of the luxuries that we have with time. Like, we can so quickly we can hop on the internet and find a job, right? They had to go to places and talk to people. And so they did things with, what is the word I'm looking for?
Well, maybe they didn't have a lot more time. Like, we have more time on our hands to do
for sure.
things. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Things are so much simpler. They're easier in regards to, like, technology.
Yeah.
We can so quickly harm our entire career. We can completely stain our name within a matter of seconds. Absolutely. Right? And they didn't have that. Right. And I think because we are that microwave generation, we react more. We're more we care more about ourselves. Brill has all my words.
I don't know exactly what I don't know what you're about to say. I don't know what you want to say. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. But we care more about self than others, right? And so a lot of times, we will react rather than listen. Like, if we're having a conversation, someone told me, super wise person, was like, learn how to fight, and that's how you stay in a healthy marriage. Is learning how to fight, right? Because when you learn how to fight, you can have that disagreement, you can have that argument, and then come back together because you know that that's not the end of the road, right?
I think that's an important thing too, because, like, when you talk about learning how to fight, people think that, like, you have people like me who think that people never supposed to fight. And you got people who came from the background she came from, or the parental style where, like, it was always some type of disagreement or arguing. I got you. And so, like, learning how to fight, not necessarily like knockout, drag out arguments, but learning how to disagree and be able to still love each other at the end of the day.
Right. So would you guys say that you kind of fight often?
We used to a lot.
We used to fight a lot.
Yeah.
We would just see how many times we could break up.
Really?
When we were dating.
I guess when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many times can we break up?
Like, fuck him, I'm leaving him.
Yeah.
And then you call, he's like, hello.
Yeah.
But a lot of our arguments, a lot of time came from the fact that Bree knew, like, so we both knew we wanted to marry each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the question was when.
When? Oh, okay.
And so for her, she was ready, like, the moment that we talked about it, she was like, she doesn't talk about things until she's ready to do them.
Yeah.
And so the moment that we talked about it, she was ready. And I'm the type of person, I like to talk about stuff in advance so I can plan for it.
Yeah, I got you.
So we had a disconnected communication because she's talking about it because she's ready for it, and I'm talking about it because I need to plan for it.
That's
like
the
a turtle.
That's the accountant in him.
Yeah.
Because I was friends with a person who wanted to be an accountant, and he overthought shit a lot too. And I was like,
bruh.
just fucking, like,
Just do it.
just fucking do it, please. Okay, we're making this
We
hard.
literally had this conversation yesterday.
Yeah,
about
do you want a
something.
fucking cheeseburger or not? Just it's fucking Jack in the Box. Like, okay.
Curly fries, man. Yeah.
Do you think a lot of couples rush to get married these days?
I don't know. In our generation, I think a lot of people are running more from marriage than rushing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, because I mean, like, I can't speak for everybody, but as like a young black man, you're taught, well, not everybody, but a lot of people I know and a lot of people that grew up the way I did are taught, like, hey, enjoy your singleness for as long as you can.
Okay.
You know, and like when they say enjoy your singleness, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Go be a hoe?
Basically, is what they're saying.
I'm still in that.
And I mean, obviously, that's not the Christian advice, but that's a lot of the advice you get in the black community as a young man.
Okay.
Is enjoy your singleness, and so what that turns into is you hear that as a little boy all your life or as a teenager all your life, and then you get to be a grown man, and it's like, all right, well, I see you want more. Right. But I'm still enjoying my singleness. Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
do you
there's a
think
disconnect.
that was going on with you guys in the beginning of your relationship?
Definitely.
For sure.
And she's like, yo, but remember, I'm halfway. So like, I'm only half black. So I half enjoyed my singleness. And the other half of me wants to get fucking married, bro. Okay.
Well, and we both were coming out of
married at 16.
Oh shit. Yeah.
We both were coming out of bad relationships too, though. So I wasn't really in a rush to get in another relationship.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when you had to meet at fucking Applebee's. Damn, the $2 margaritas.
We never go to Applebee's anymore.
No, I don't know a soul that goes to Applebee's.
Bro, that was just,
I always want to believe Applebee's is going to be good, and then I go and it's shit. I'm like, man.
Even the water's just...
hold up, wait. Now, y'all ain't going to drag Applebee's like that.
We are going to drag Applebee's like that.
It's some kind of steak and shrimp thing that I used to get when we used to go all the time.
Your taste buds are
okay, bye. If you're going to Applebee's to eat steak and shrimp, that means you're not going to get steak and shrimp.
No, I didn't go because it was like filet mignon or nothing. I'm just saying.
I met him eating Hungry Man.
Okay.
Oh, so you're going to put me out there like that?
He's got trash taste buds, which is why I cook now.
It's not trash taste buds. I like to save my money. But still,
that's the account. Accountants don't like to spend their fucking money either. One of my friends, her husband's an accountant, and she said he don't like spend none of his fucking money. And I'm the type of person that we might die tomorrow. And so, I'm like, I didn't need that $500 arcade cabinet. I don't have nowhere to fucking put it in my apartment, but goddamn it, I wanted it.
How you think that works when you married? But like opposite like that, bro. That's another thing we used to. We were married for a year before we had shared bank accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome for you guys. Bring that up because I don't know that I could ever do that.
Really?
Like my money is my fucking money. Like I know that we're married and shit, and I'm all for when you're married, things are supposed to be shared and stuff like that. But that's my money.
So that's exactly how I felt until we like really started getting back, because there was a portion of really. So when we met, I really wasn't like I grew up in church, but I really wasn't like going to church or involved.
Okay, I got you.
And I was kind of at a point where I was like borderline not believing.
Ooh, okay.
And so when we first met, that's kind of where I was at. And so the first couple of years of our relationship, and sometimes, the first year of our marriage wasn't really centered around Christ, honestly.
Okay.
And I felt exactly like you felt. Like, this is my money. You know what I mean? Like, I go to work every day. Like the man in me was like, I'm paying the bills, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
And her mind, I had to learn that when you're in a relationship, sometimes all the other person wants is security.
Yeah.
And a lot of times security, it shows itself in different ways. And so for Bree, it was never about, oh, I want your money.
Yeah.
It was more like, I need to feel like I'm secure in this, just like you feel secure. Because I was coming home to cook meals, laundry done, cleaning out, you know what I mean? But it was at the same time, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I didn't want to share a bank account with her.
Okay.
And it's not like we have our own allowance accounts.
Right.
So it's not like.
So, but that was something you wanted to do that though, right? Have a joint account?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, and it was like, so it wasn't like we didn't have.
Yeah.
She didn't have like money to spend or anything. We had our own allowance account. It was just a matter of security.
Allowance account. I've never heard of that. That's so cute.
Bro, it's a personal finance thing for sure.
No, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know what it is with me personally? Like, and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this too, and I don't want to like divulge in it. Like I love the way my life is right now. I'm not proud of being single. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people who don't want to give me a chance because I'm obviously the fucking package, right? And so I get scared that I'm gonna be used to being single. So like I don't sleep in bed with somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't live with, but my best friend lived with me for 1 year and that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so and then he got married. And so for me, I get scared of that. I'm gonna be 30 this year and I've been single for so long that I don't know what it's like to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't want to be the one that fails in the relationship and ultimately ends up being single my whole life. Because I can't stand when a motherfucker goes on Facebook and says, I'm single and I don't give a fuck. Yes, the fuck you do. Yeah. this is nothing to be glorified. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love my life. You know what I mean? I like going, doing whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. But I
a season.
Crave companionship too. Yeah. I don't want to be 70 years old and I never had somebody that loved me back. You know what I mean? Right. And the reason why you got a different boyfriend every fucking year is because of you, bitch. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? don't sit here and try to. I can't stand when a mother effer tries to, because I'm really trying not to curse on this episode, but too late, right?
You're doing a great job.
Okay. No, I can't stand when a motherfucker goes on social media or anything and it's like, I'm just doing me. I'm single. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, as somebody who has been single for this long, you fucking care.
That's self-sabotage.
Isn't it?
It's self-sabotage.
Like, who wants to be with somebody like that? You depressing, negative bitch? Like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so terrible.
But I think it's interesting, too, though, because you have the perspective of, like, I don't want to get used to being single.
Yes.
But there's another side of that where, like, a lot of people, like, for example, when we first met, there's a lot of bad stuff you got to unlearn when you're fresh out of a relationship or fresh out of a bad relationship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying one's better than the other, but you could always be on the other end of the spectrum. And I think it's depending on your personality, I think it's different. Like, getting used to being single may be harder for you than it would be for having to unlearn bad habits from a bad relationship.
Oh, okay.
But I think when you look at it kind of like a glass half full kind of thing, I think for you it might be easier to break that habit than it would be to have to unlearn or deal with, bad trauma.
I just want to say, like, I definitely dated my fair share of people, but I also know that I've never like brought anybody home to my parents. I let my best friend meet somebody that I dated one time because I took them to the wedding in Vegas. And can you believe we went to Vegas and did not have sex? Like, what the you fucker? You know what I mean? I paid for the whole trip and upgraded to the king size bed and woke up in pajamas again. I only threw up that one fucking night. You know what I mean? Oh, bitch. And you owe me $300 too, by the way. You think I fucking forgot when you watched this? He doesn't have Venmo, PayPal because he's on somebody else's phone account, so I'm sure. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, no, I've dated. I've had my fair dates, but for whatever reason, I always go for like the wrong person. You know what I mean? The person that, like, the first guy I dated was 10 years older than me, and he didn't have no car, lied about having an apartment, and when I was 18, I had all my shit together, and so I was just like, okay, fuck you, move on. Then the other guy I took to Vegas, and then it's like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? I don't understand why I am attracted to these people that really have nothing else to offer in a relationship, but I noticed that a lot in my generation. What do you guys feel about that?
Ooh.
So I think, for me, my perspective at least, I think a lot of people search for the thing that they're most acquainted with.
Okay.
And so you'll see, like, a lot of, in our generation at least, and a lot of people, we grew up with or hung out with, you'll see a lot of them go search, they're attracted to people who resemble what they know.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that's a good way
and
to put it.
And so if you know drug dealing, if you know poverty, if you know living a certain type of way, a lot of times that's what you're attracted to.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that you can't. I think you can. I mean, obviously you can break your attraction, but that has to do with exposure.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able. Like, the reason why my parents purposely took me out of our neighborhood and like showed me different things. Okay. Because before that, I never knew those things existed.
Now, so, what kind of neighborhood were you in that they took you out?
So I grew up in South Waco. Okay. So, but not that it was. I mean, it's not like Ninth Ward.
Wasn't where I grew up.
Yeah. Okay.
But it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like Hewitt either. Yeah. You know what I mean? I got you. But what happened is, and we eventually moved out of Hewitt. I mean, out of South Waco to Hewitt. Yeah. Which is how I was going to Midway. But yeah. Even before that, like, we would take trips and go different places, like not like day trips, and we would just drive. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money to buy stuff, but we would just drive around. And so I would see, like, people can't afford at some point to buy these houses and drive these cars. And not to say that materiality is the only thing that's important, but like, you see different things. And so I think when it comes to relationships, it's important to expose yourself to other things, because if you only stick with what you know or what you're used to, that your attraction only is only based off that.
But that's
so true.
Yeah, that's so strange for you guys to say that, though, because I'm attracted to young, short Mexican men, not young, old, short Mexican men that need papers, and that was never me. You know what I mean? That's all I want. I just want to feel like in the relationship that I was able to give back. Yeah. And it's true. I don't know what the fuck it is, Brianna. I really don't fucking know.
So are you like the Mexican Santa Claus or Puerto Rican Santa Claus?
I'm the Puerto Rican anything you want to be. I don't know what it is. You know what it is? There's just something about a fucking dude who can't speak English that just works my shit. You're a caretaker. You know, I guess in a way, like, it's so weird, Dad. I'm sorry. So, like, I would definitely be like the subordinate, like in the bedroom and stuff. But I'm very well put together. Yeah. I'm very independent. I have my own shit. I don't like to depend on people for nothing, which I know in a relationship sometimes you have to give and take. You know what I mean? And like surely I have to accept. I can't be proud all the time. Right. But
you also got to be bringing something to the table too.
Absolutely, yeah. So I get scared that sometimes that might be a really bad trait. But I just want to feel like I'm giving something to the relationship, and I can give you fucking citizenship. It's what's up. You know what I mean? But I don't know what it is. You know what it is? Because I'm also into dudes that like just like the opposite of me. Like I kind of consider myself clean cut. You know what I mean? Just like I'm not like a queen or anything. Right. Like the people that made that fucking Starbucks piss me off because they were queens. But like I don't consider myself a queen or nothing. But like I like a nice, just rugged, just fucking dirty hands. Like like I'm Mexican. That that works hard. That works hard. That's like my fucking type. It's like So I don't know. It's like too. I don't know how to put it. You know what I mean? One day we'll see. You guys will come to the wedding, right?
We will.
Because my wedding's my wedding's gonna be fucking crunk. When I have it. Okay, yeah.
You gonna narrate your own wedding, aren't you?
I'm gonna what?
You gonna narrate your own wedding, aren't you?
Why you had to say that? Hey, did you ever see? I want my listeners to. Okay, so do you know my best friend Jaime Gutierrez?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we.
Funny story. Me and Jaime took French together.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember he took fucking French.
Yeah, we was in the class. I used to be looking at his paper all the whole time because I was not paying attention.
He was smart, right?
Right, he was smart.
He was fucking smart.
Super smart.
That's that's like my brother.
Oh yeah.
Me and Jaime, we're fucking brothers. I love him. They're having a baby too. Shout out to them. Yeah, they're having a baby in March.
Congratulations.
Him and his wife. Yeah. So he got married in Mexico, and I knew that I wanted to be really extravagant for that wedding because I'd never been to Mexico, and then I'm his best friend. So that's why I got these cute boots that you probably can't see on the camera. Oh, look how I can lift that leg up. So Soccer Academy. What's up? Hey, take that, Isaac. I am flexible. But anyway, my trainer says. Anyway, okay. So have you ever seen that meme on? And I want my listeners to go ahead and like look this up. It's Beyonce, and she was wearing whatever she wore at some awards ceremony, and she had that gold card. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna send it to you guys, and I'm gonna post it too. Remind me, whoever's watching this episode, DM me and remind me to post that meme. But she's like wearing whatever she's wearing because she's Beyonce, and then she has that gold card that says "me at my best friend's wedding" because it just has to be fucking extra as fuck. That's me,
bruh. I can see that.
I did. I went to Mexico and shouted out that I worked at Power 108 and nobody even knew what the fuck I was saying. Then I snuck off and made out with one of their people and got banned. So anyway, so speaking of which, I want to talk a little bit about in relationships, obviously infidelity exists. Okay. I feel like it's so like so for me, it's easy for me as a single man to say once my person cheats on me, that's it, we're done. But I guess you never really know what to do when you're in that situation, and I kind of want you guys to like maybe chime in here and thinking like when it comes to infidelity, what do you think causes that in a relationship? Or do you think it's something that is inevitable? Is it like almost like a character trait in people? You know what I mean? Because I can say all day that I'm always going to be faithful, but then I look at all kinds of couples and it's like, oh, that happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So what is like your take on that?
I think that's a loaded question for sure because I don't think it's a character flaw.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of things. Society plays a role in that. There's movies, there's songs, there's so many things that say it's okay to do this, right? Or this is what happens after you do it. So go ahead and do it, right? And you learn that as children, and then you grow up and that's all you know,
right?
But I also think that our generation, that is a big thing because people don't really know who they are,
right?
They don't know who they are, and they also. They don't know how to effectively communicate what they need or what's lacking.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think a lot of times, and Brill and I just talked about this the other day, is when people feel empty, right? Because a lot of times like people will be in a marriage or they'll be in a relationship, and they're like, I feel empty. That's why I did this, right? That emptiness, they go and fill it with things, whether they fill it with sex, whether they fill it with drugs, whether they fill it with porn, all of those different things. They're just trying to fill a void.
Right.
I mean, think about like girls that go out and have sex with multiple men. They're just trying to feel something, and at the end of the day they're like, I still don't feel it. So, you know, I'm
Yeah.
30 men in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same
Damn,
thing.
30 men in.
I'm just throwing a number out there.
Let me not say my body count on here. Because my dad watches the show, so I don't want him to be disappointed in his little boy.
Don't do it for your dad.
Okay. Is it 30 though? I'm going to sit here and count, but anyway, go ahead.
But there's a void there, and people don't know how to communicate that,
Right.
right? They don't know how
Okay.
to say, there's something wrong here. I don't know what this is. Whether it's to their spouse or to their friends or whoever they confide in.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the bigger issues that we see across the board because there's so many people doing it.
So do you think that in lieu of it being a character flaw, which you say it's not, do you think it's more of an act of selfishness?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think there are people that do it selfishly.
Yes, I think so too.
They're repeat offenders and
Yes.
they do it. This is what I do. This is
Yeah.
my dad did it. My mom did it.
I knew a whole couple like that. Yeah.
Those are ruthless people.
Yeah,
For sure.
I got you.
Those are the people you just
yeah.
don't even try, right? And then I think there are people that they don't know how to come out of it,
Okay.
right? It's an addiction.
Yeah.
There's some people that are addicted to porn. There's some people that are addicted to whatever
Well, porn
this
is
might
cool because
be.
it's educational, Brianna. Okay.
Dude,
That's how I learned a lot of my moves. All right. You know what I mean? Shut up. I'm not gonna do that. Do you think porn?
why you come over here talking about me, man?
Do you think porn is detrimental in a relationship?
If you're asking me spiritually,
Okay.
yes.
What about not spiritually? I think
I think
you walk out the room for a second?
So I think it's still in. Okay, so I'll give my nobody asked me, but I'm gonna give
Nobody
my.
asked.
No, but you should know.
Yeah,
You're here
go
on the
ahead.
public affair.
I'm
Yes.
gonna give my perspective on it too.
Okay.
So from a male perspective, this is another thing. I'm black, so I can only speak from the black male perspective.
Are you
Okay.
black?
I am,
I couldn't tell that you were black. I'm sorry.
and so
JK.
a lot of things regarding sex and relationships aren't talked about
Yeah.
as a black boy. Like my dad had the conversation with me about sex.
Uh-huh.
Wait till marriage.
Oh.
Didn't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. That's like no.
I mean, I'm not. You should, but I didn't. So,
Uh-huh.
but I think there's a lot of things we don't talk about in the black community, but especially in the black male community.
Okay.
Some of that's because of the lack of the male presence,
Okay.
and some of it is because you might have a male presence, but maybe they didn't have a male presence, and so they don't know how to talk about the stuff because nobody talked to them about it, and so it just continues a cycle of not talking about it.
Right.
I feel like I'm being just loads of education here. Like,
And so-
It's a big secret.
I mean,
What
yeah.
happens is you get like me, and I'm grown, and I know, I shouldn't have had sex before marriage, but I already did. So now what?
Right.
And
Right.
then on top of that, when y'all were talking about, did you think it was a character flaw? I think being human is a character flaw.
Okay.
So I think that what happens is you have a lot of different dynamics that go into stuff.
Right.
You got people with addictions who never talked about it, and so they go into relationships addicted to sex. And then what if you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have the same sex drive as you?
Right.
What do you do about that?
Isn't that sad?
And
Well-
sex drive is actually not a thing. That's a different podcast, though.
Is it really?
There's no such thing as a sex drive.
Okay,
Brian,
so
I beg to differ, but anyway. I
what
beg to differ.
if you're in a relationship that
I got a
doesn't with
side
somebody?
piece on the line right now as soon as this is over. But anyway, go ahead. I do. He's gonna sex drive to my house. But anyway.
But what do you do when you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have the same level of desire?
That's a
as
good
you?
question.
Right.
Yeah.
And me and my dad never sat down and talked about that.
Right.
Well, I'm
But-
about to talk to you about it. We're about to teach you some things.
But
'cause-
I mean, stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
you get into a relationship, and it's like people don't know how to communicate these things because one, they either, like Bree said, they don't know who they are, which means you don't know what you like and don't like.
Okay.
Right.
And so sometimes you find yourself in relationships with people, and as time progresses, you're like, oh, I really don't like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Or you don't know how to tell them.
yeah, not that I don't like you as a person. I just don't. I just don't see myself. If I'm going to be in a relationship, I don't see it like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think sex drives are a lot of things that people don't talk about. Well, the desire to have sex or whatever you want to call it.
Sex
A lot
drive,
of things.
Sex in
A lot of
general.
things that people don't talk about. Like, what do you do when the person you're with doesn't desire it the same way you do?
Yeah.
Because that's why a lot of men. I mean, not that's the only reason, but that's why a lot of men cheat.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
because they feel like the person doesn't want it as much as they do. And then,
Right.
you got a whole nother dynamic of social media. And no other generation has had to grow up as adults with the accessibility of seeing people twerking on your story
Yeah.
on your phone.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
our parents didn't have to do that. They had to go buy magazines to even look at that.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
for
like
sure.
you put effort into
Oh
that.
yeah, you could pull up porn in 2 seconds.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so it's a whole nother thing from a spiritual aspect is you have to be able, and I had to learn this. You have to filter what you see.
Right.
Like, you have to filter what goes into your eye gate. You have to filter like what you're allowing to affect you, because
so crazy.
what's happening is, I can't control what somebody else posts.
Okay.
But when I see it, it affects my thoughts.
Right.
Do you think that it's possible for somebody to cheat one time and that's it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like I fucked up, my bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I was saying earlier, like I could say right now as a single man that if I ever get with somebody who cheats on me, I'm done. But you don't know what you do in a situation like that. Because I know lots of couples where the other person was unfaithful and they were able to work through it.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm like, what was it that, you know what I mean? Like, how did you work through that? You know what I mean?
I think like most times, like you have to consider how big is this? Like how detrimental is this? Like if we're dating, we've been dating like 5 months, fam. Goodbye. Like you know,
like damn, we couldn't even make it a year and you're already
But
I don't even got nothing that much invested.
You look at like couples who've been married for like 10 years, 20 years, and something like that happens. Like, how detrimental would that be to their lives to just completely uproot it for one mistake? And I think like for us, that goes back to grace, right?
Okay.
And it's not like grace and be naive, but it's extend grace. What happened here? Let's work through this, not because, we are married or whatever, you have a spouse, but because you're a human being. I want to help you get over this and overcome this, because the Lord does not want this from you. Just from like a spiritual standpoint, that's what it looks like, is you have to give people grace,
right?
Because if say that person cheats on you one time, but you go and you gamble your life savings away, like how do you determine which one's the greater sin?
Okay, so
you know what I mean?
It's kind of like an equal. It's kind of the same thing as what you're
saying.
You
can't determine. You can't say one's better than the other. This one,
right? And it's interesting as a Christian
so weird,
too, because
that's good because I'm not Christian. But go ahead.
As honestly, like as a Christian, as a believer, there's only one thing that Jesus himself actually speaks about that permits divorce,
right?
And
what's that?
Infidelity, cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So what happens? But it's funny though, because you see a lot of, like, if you think about it, a lot of the couples you see that work through infidelity, not all of them, but a lot of them are Christian.
Right.
And so the biggest group that you see of working through infidelity is the same group that is actually justified in actually getting a divorce for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's where grace comes into play. Because you have to determine, okay, hey, why did we get married? Is this something that I can see myself working past? And then at the same time, like, because if somebody cheats, you're by the New Testament, you're permitted to divorce them. But again, the biggest group of people you see working through that are the same group of people that have the right, based on what they're believed to do.
Right.
And it's just that. It's working through it. It's not like, oh, you never do it again, let's just forget about it. It's actual, like, those people have to be intentional about working through it.
Now, what is defined as cheating? Is it just messaging somebody but you didn't have sex, or is it having sex with the person that's cheating? You know what I mean? Because like, what if I'm just texting somebody and I'm like, okay, say I have a girlfriend, right? Which that will never happen. And so, say I have a girlfriend, right? And then I'm texting another girl and I'm just like, ooh, you turn me on, or you do this, you do that. Is that cheat? Even though I've never slept with her and I don't intend on sleeping with her, but we just like to talk dirty to each other. Is that cheating?
I think it depends on the couple.
Okay.
Like, I think before two people get married, that's something
need to be
definitely need to have a conversation about.
Like, because if I watch porn, is that cheating?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we didn't watch porn together. Okay, we about to learn something. It's Friday. Fridays we learn something. We watch a different kind all the time. You know what I mean? So that's not cheating to me. A lot of people say that porn is cheating, and I totally disagree with that. Yeah. But I do think that if I'm with somebody and I'm messaging somebody else, stuff like that, I do think that is cheating. Yeah.
So
it depends on what you consider.
I agree that I think it depends on the construct of the relationship. Like, y'all need to come to that agreement for sure, or like on what you agree is what. But at the same time, there's a couple of different. Like, I have to answer this from a spiritual perspective too. Go ahead. Because all right, so like from a spiritual perspective, the Bible teaches you that like sin doesn't happen when you actually commit the act.
Okay.
The sin happens when you think of it.
Right.
So a lot of times, your intent is what matters, not necessarily what you do.
Okay.
And I think that like a lot of times men we always go back to the I didn't go through with it. I didn't follow through with it. I didn't do that. I didn't actually do it, but you thought about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your intent was to do it. And so like that was something I had to reteach myself.
Yeah.
Intent is where it really counts. And so I think when it comes to cheating, whatever the action was, what was the intent behind it?
Okay.
Like did you text them with the intent of them coming over if they had agreed, or was it something that you said that you got misconstrued and you really didn't intend for it to be taken like that? Like that's where I think you really have to start.
Yeah.
That's just my view.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to know too, like, and this goes into my next topic too. Who's really to blame when a couple cheats? Like one thing I can't stand is watching two girls fight over some fucking dude. Like that shit drives me fucking crazy. Or two men fight over some girl.
Yeah.
Like that shit, I don't know why that shit drives me crazy. It just like, gets under my skin. And so, okay, let's use another hypothetical situation. Let's say that I'm with my girlfriend, right? This is just so funny to say. Okay, you know, whatever. Let's say I have my girlfriend, right? And then I cheat on my girlfriend with this girl. Okay, is everybody supposed to be mad at the girl I cheated with or at me?
Oh, for sure, the people that are responsible, like
Okay.
the people that have the responsibility.
Well, because let me tell you guys this too, and this is so like I'm so sorry, mom and dad, but this is just my theory.
Boy.
Y'all
We
know
are
that
sorry, Mom and Dad.
Okay, y'all know that I'm real as F. This is the public affair with Andrew motherfucking G, and so I always say this. Okay, I have definitely contributed to a couple cheating more than once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than one couple at that.
Right.
It's not anything I'm proud of. I don't
Yeah.
boast about it. You don't see me posting on
Right.
social media. Ooh, today's the day. Like, you know, a year ago I slept with that dude, and he's still with his wife, and it's so funny to watch. Like that, I don't do that. You know what I mean? To me, it's something that it's a flaw that I deal with.
Yeah.
It's not something I do all the time. You know, it's just shit happens sometimes. You know what I mean? Drinks and whatever. And so my thing is this, and I tell this to everybody, and they laugh at me, but I'm being so fucking serious. And again, it's not condoning anything that I've done
Right.
to that marriage, so to speak. But I don't owe anybody's relationship any loyalty. Do you see what
Right.
I'm saying?
No,
So
that's true.
you have every right to be like I know what I did was wrong, and you can say what I did was
Right.
wrong, but you need to be more mad at your fucking man if you find out.
Right.
Because your man stepped out on you. I was just having fun. And I know that's very selfish of me. That's very selfish of me. I get it. But I'm also not perfect.
Right.
And neither any of y'all. So don't even be trying to judge me, okay? I know some of y'all be watching this. Okay. But you know what I mean? So that's what I always say. And that goes to say, if I'm in a relationship, I don't want that being done to me. So I know it's very contradicting.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But why is it, going back to what I just said, if I'm with a girl and then I cheat on my girlfriend with this girl, why are these two fighting each other, and why is nobody mad at me? I feel like I'm the one to be blamed. Do you see what
Right,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't even be mad at her. She didn't marry us.
Right.
She didn't say any vows to us. She didn't promise us anything.
Right.
It's just me a good time.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So why nobody ever gets mad at the person that actually was responsible? Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
I think that I agree with what you're saying.
Okay.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that you're self-aware too.
Well, yeah. Let me just say, I'm not like, I don't do it all the time. I'm saying I've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like definitely
yeah.
in the past, I've definitely slept with
Right.
my share of married men.
Right.
Oh well, it's over, it's done.
over,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And none of them were gay. But anyway, just
Thought I left a bit in there. Just
like in Mexico, he was making out with some girl. I don't fucking know you.
Yeah.
Your mom came and picked you. Oh, it's bedtime. Good night. Time for us to play. Like, okay. So like my thing is like it's nothing that I'm proud of.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not anything that I just intentionally do.
Right.
It's just happened.
Right.
It did. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
And I think like
Yeah.
the people that are in that relationship have to be responsible
Okay.
on both sides.
Okay.
I think when we allow someone from the outside to come in,
Yeah.
they have their own issues,
Right.
but they owe no responsibility. Especially like if you look at it biblically,
Okay.
God's not going to. That is not an account on them,
Right.
on that person outside. It's the account of this marriage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think, the people that have made a commitment, they
Right.
made a vow, or they just agreed we're going to be in this relationship.
Yeah.
They are responsible.
You're responsible.
Why
Yeah.
people lash out on the other?
That makes
person?
no sense to me whatsoever. I
so
don't
this
fucking
is
get it.
I agree with you guys, but at the same time, I think we're ultimately saying the same thing, just in different words. But I think that, so when you see a lot of people arguing, and in a situation like the hypothetical you gave us, when you see people go after the other person who isn't the one who actually was in the relationship and cheated, I think some of that happens from not knowing your own worth. Okay. I think a lot of that, this is just my view on it. I think a lot of that happens because you don't really know that, like, you don't really grasp the idea that this person wronged you. Okay. Yeah. Like what you see is you see somebody who wanted what you had. Right. That's so true. And you went after them because they came for what you had. They're trying to take your toy away. But you totally like overlooked the fact that the person who had you overlooked the fact that the person who had you chose to not want you. Yeah. Huh. You know what I mean? And so I think that when you don't look at it like that and you don't realize, oh, I don't know my worth because I'm overlooking the fact that this person that I was committed to chose not to be committed to me. Right. And now I'm only seeing red. I'm only seeing the person who tried to come get what I got. Okay. Not my gift. But I think there's another perspective of that too, because I think we can't just completely like, there's two different situations. There's the third party who knows that this person is committed, married, and then there's a third party who has no idea. Right. I think in the case of the third party who has no idea, no energy needs to be put towards that. Oh, okay. Right, yeah. Because they didn't know. I mean, for all they knew, the person that they was messing with was single. There were times that I knew, and then sometimes I found out, and then there were sometimes I just did not fucking know. You know what I mean? But then on the other side of that, when you know, like if you're the perpetrator, if you're the cheater, and the person that you're cheating with knows that you're married. Okay. I think from a moralistic, not even biblical or spiritual, just from a moralistic standpoint, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna. Like if you knew them. Like you knew. Okay, yeah. Well, if you knew this person was married, whether or not you know them personally or not.
Let me just go ahead and intervene here because now I feel like I have to fucking defend myself. Right?
No. Wait. I just want to say this. Okay. What I don't want to sound like is
you have the right to your opinion. And I totally agree with everything you're saying.
Right, but what I don't want to sound like is like, oh, you're just a piece of trash if you do that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is don't think you can do something like that and be scot-free.
Well, then also that person doesn't know their self-worth either.
Right, but this is also the person who's single.
Right, but they don't also know what they're worth.
So I'm glad you said that. I know my worth. Yeah. I didn't want you. I do not want your fucking man. Let's put that out there right now. There's been plenty of couples that I've definitely contributed, whatever. And in the past, by the way, let me just say, we're only in January, right? Okay. Anyway, so all I'm saying is I don't want what you had. Yeah. I was looking for a good time. There were some cases that I did not know. I knew that they were like the majority of men that I slept with have been straight. Like, which we're gonna get to in a minute. But I just because I have everything right now. But for me, it's like where was I going with this? I just feel that I didn't want what you had. I just was looking for a good time. I know my worth. You know what I mean? Right. There were times that I've slept with these men that I didn't know that they were married or in a relationship. And then there were some that they were like, I call them repeat offenders. Well, the damage is already done. Might as well just keep. I mean, because once you do it once, you already fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, you might as well just keep on doing it. You know? And so it's like, okay, my bad. And it's like that's why we keep it between us, darling. And so that's not gonna show. But anyway, I will say in my defense, like again, the ones that I knew that ended up being married or whatever, I was like, I felt bad, you know what I mean? But also there was that part of me that was like, this is fun because it's like a rush. Again, and I'm not, you guys, I'm not condoning any of this behavior. I'm just saying it was fun. Yeah, you keep it real. You know, I'm just keeping it fucking 100%. And so, y'all need to be, for whatever, my pieces love me because I never say anything. It's great. Like, you know what I mean? I know like, but and I tell them all the time, I like to talk about it, but I'll never out you. And that's why I'm so cool too, because I'll never fucking out them. Like they love it. So for me, and this is gonna roll into this. A lot of people in marriages or relationships deal with curiosities. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty fucking evident because, I can attest to that 100%. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily think that man or woman is gay. Right. Y'all don't be hating me. Like the men that I've slept with, I don't think they're gay. Interesting. I know we did some gay ass shit. I know we did some gay shit, but I don't think that they're gay. Like I don't, because like I have to believe at this point, unless they fucked me up in my head, I have to believe that I have to believe that there are people in this world now, so not in all cases, in some cases, that the man or the women, in my case, it was the men, just have that urge sometimes, like, oh, I just wonder what it's like being with another man sometimes, and then they go back to living their life. How do you guys feel about the couples who deal with curiosity? Because women do it too.
Right.
I don't know any women that
I guess
does.
I would have to ask you a question first.
Okay, what's up?
So what would you define being gay as?
Being gay. Okay, so like I'm gay. I know that, and you know, and we can agree and disagree. Like I don't get into the politics behind it. Like to me, I really don't fucking care. I don't care to like. Anyway,
I just want to know your definition. So
okay. So I'm gay. So I know that I yearn to be with another man. I find sexual pleasure with other men. I'm attracted to a man, not a man that dresses like a woman. Which, if that's what you're into, cool. That's just not me.
Right.
Me as a gay, and then it's just like me, like my mannerisms, you know what I mean? Like I'm obviously I'm gay, and so that's how I define myself as being that.
So
you know
you think? So I'm just trying to clarify.
No, go ahead.
So
go
you
ahead.
think that in your mind, you think that a man can enjoy sexual pleasure from another man, but also still enjoy it from a woman? Like there is no
that
one
would be
or the
called
other.
being
That's
bisexual.
bisexual.
Right. No, I know that. I'm just
Yeah.
asking, like, you don't think that if a man crosses the line of enjoying sexual pleasure with another man, because a lot of people think that when
I don't
you
think
cross
that's
that
gay.
line,
I don't think that's gay. I think that's just having fun. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I know
so
that sounds so horrible. And a lot of people disagree with me. I don't, because if all the men that I've been with are now with women, and it's because it wasn't even a continuous thing. Like it wasn't a regular thing. It was when they would have the urge, they would hit me up, and the urge literally would come once, maybe every other month.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it would be like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, I just kind of want to try this, and that's it. I just feel like that's curious. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me, which is fine. But I feel like curiosity lies in most people, not all.
Yeah.
And I don't have any desire to be with a woman. I used to think in high school, oh my God, I have to marry a girl and then sleep with her and kiss her soft, nasty lips. And then the bitch's skin is lotion and so is mine. You know what I mean? And then her hair is in my face. You know what I mean? And then I have to, no. And so, you know what I mean? And that was, I saw my first vagina picture. I was like, yeah, we're done here. Anyway. We're done here. So, you know, I guess it goes, okay, and it kind of gets a little political. And, you know, again, a lot of people disagree with me, but it's like being transgender and gay. You know, that's two different things. Mm-hmm. Like you can be transgender and not like Bruce Jenner, for instance. A lot of people gave him or her shit, and so for me, I kind of get that, because if you let's say for you, for instance, like you just woke up, or you've always felt like you wanted to be a man, but you're attracted to women,
right?
Or you're attracted to men, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gay, you're just transgender,
right?
You know, and so for the dudes, I can't really speak on it like without sounding like a fucking idiot, but like I just think that there's some, and only because I've dealt with this, men mostly just have urges. Yeah. They're just curiosities. You know what I mean?
I think that there's a lot of layers there. I think we as human beings are curious people. Yeah. And I think with sex, there's a couple different things that could happen, but the first two things that stick out to me are they're related to things like porn, sex in movies. People are like, oh, what is that? What is that like? Yeah. Because I remember when I first had sex, I never intended to have sex, right?
Neither of us did, yeah.
It wasn't even a thing that I wanted. Oh. And all of my friends were talking about it, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that's like. If someone had actually sat me down and talked about it, I would have been like, fam, I'm not going to do it right now, because that was trash. Right? But
all of our first experiences are trash.
It's just that curiosity that we have as human beings from the beginning of time. Yeah. But also, I meant to mention this earlier, but when people don't talk about sex, it becomes this secretive thing. So it's like, ooh, what is this like?
That's why I love talking about sex.
It's that hidden thing. But if you talk with your spouse and say, hey, I actually want to try this. Let's try this. I want to see what this is like, but I don't want to go find someone else. I want to see what it's like with you. Let's do it. Yeah. That may actually cut that in half.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I kind of want to joke about this a little bit. Like, I think it's so funny when I have sex with these dudes that are straight, and then afterwards they're like, I'm not gay, right? No, you're not gay. That's not gay at all.
Well, I mean, that was why I asked you that question, because a lot of straight men believe that if a man, even like thinks about getting any sexual pleasure from another man, that makes him gay, and that's a line he's crossing. You can't come back from that. Which is funny though, because for women it's not the same.
Right.
No, it's not. No, because when a girl makes out with a girl, why it's not lesbian?
Yeah. Like why you can't come back to this.
But like if
side.
me and Brill made out, like why is that automatically gay? Like why couldn't we just be which we never would, but you know.
But see, like for me on the other hand, it's different
You
because
got quiet, right?
No, I mean, well, it's different because like I'm not attracted to a man, so like for me, I wouldn't. I can't.
You wouldn't want to do that,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why I asked you what you like, what you thought gay was, or what gay was to you, or if you thought a person could be both, because it's an interesting dynamic. Because when you got people that look at it from different perspectives, their answers are different.
It's just kind of controversial to say. Like I hate getting into the whole gay straight thing. Like it's really fucking annoying to me. Like because I just don't like to try and convince somebody how I'm gay.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna push being acceptance on you. If you accept me, that's cool. You don't accept that. I don't know.
And I think that's the cool thing about like when we talked at the wedding. Because like for me, I mean you have a lot of homophobia in the black male community. Yes. But you got a lot of homophobia in the church too.
Oh, absolutely.
And so like for me, I've always been the type of person where like everybody has their issues. You got your issues, you got your issues. I have my issues.
Right.
Just because I don't have the same struggle that you have doesn't make me better, and it doesn't make your struggle better or worse.
Right.
Yeah,
and so I think where we've gone wrong as Christians is we use what the Bible talks about and how it uses different words. Yeah. And say, oh, well, that makes this sin worse. Well, no, it doesn't actually.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same, like we're all people, and at the end of the day, if you're a follower of Christ, Jesus called you to love. He didn't call you to judge. He didn't call you to say this person's sin is worse than the other person's. We all got our stuff. I'm not saying I condone any of that because of what I believe. Right. But that doesn't mean I'm going to treat you like you're not a person.
Exactly.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I apologized already for sleeping with that pastor that one time. I didn't know he was a pastor. He lied to me. So that's you know what I mean? That's a sin. That's a fucking sin. Like you have to repent for that, not me. You told me you worked in insurance, you bitch.
He was insurance.
He insured me, all right. Called me the other day. I wonder what he's doing. Anyway, you know what? I had a really fun conversation with you guys. I feel like we could talk about this so much more. I really appreciate y'all's honesty, and I feel like I had a lot of questions answered. And thank you for not judging me for my lifestyle.
Bro, look, thank you for having us, man.
It was so much fun. I mean, and we are running out of time. I'm so sorry, but before we go, I know that you guys. I want to touch on this real quick. I know that you guys are co-pastors at your church. Yeah. And so, real quick, like, what is that experience like for you guys as a couple? And is that something that you want to continue with going forward and stuff? Or
for sure. And I mean,
do you think that helps strengthen your relationship?
Oh, definitely, bro.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, power in Christ?
For sure, the Lord has brought us here.
Can I just say, I love the Lord too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I pray every night before I go to bed, even when I commit those atrocious sins. Okay?
And that's okay.
Some people that's straight that's doing worse stuff than you.
Yeah, they are.
Bro, don't even.
Oh, I know they are.
In the church.
We didn't do it in the church. It was at his house.
He's like, get your facts straight.
No, well, I'm really happy. So what's next for you guys?
I don't know.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
We're still praying about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still praying about it.
Well, I pray that one day you guys might come back if I ever have a round two.
Bruh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my Dirty 30.
Thank you for having us.
That was definitely dirty. Yeah. And I hope that nobody that watches this has the wrong idea about any of us. All of our opinions are opinions and everybody's entitled to them. And that's what I appreciate about having my guests on the show, is because I want everybody to feel like they can express their opinions freely, and I'll do the same thing. You know what I mean? Some of the shit that I say is deplorable, and she want me to do. You know what I mean? So anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming. I had such a great time having this conversation. It was really fun, and I'm sorry that we couldn't divulge more, but I mean,
It's all good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. And thank you guys again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Before we go, of course, I want to give a shout out to a couple more of our sponsors of The Public Affair. This episode was also brought to you by Elite Barbershop with my boy Sid Rodriguez, who I absolutely love and always making me look sexy all the time and everything. He's located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the Cut app to book your appointment or just call the number on the screen. He's also got Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, and Santos Cordova over there making you look all cute or whatever for the weekend. You know what I mean? Thank you so much to Elite Barbershop for sponsoring. Also to Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Briana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training. They also have open play on Friday nights. They also specialize in soccer training with pros like Dominic Gutierrez and, of course, George De Leon, and fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez, Isaac, and London Carrillo. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the Public Affairs Local Soccer Academy. Love you all so much. Thank you guys again for watching this episode. The Dirty 30 was really fun. I've got some more episodes coming on the way. You guys are actually really gonna love it. It's really exciting. Thank you again to Brill and Briana for coming on, being so fluid and having this comment and not judging me for sleeping with straight men. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Public Affair. Also, follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Public Affair. And don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us, especially straight men. I know my type is short Hispanic men that need papers. Anyway, go ahead. Make that a blooper. Make that a blooper. Oh my god! Damn, we should have put that on. That's like somehow edit that in, please. Okay. Okay.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.